I want to congratulate Cavendish University for this very important initiative. I congratulate the VC, the team, the organizers, and most importantly, the participants, which is you. Yeah? Now, we have 1 hour before us. What are we going to do? So I want to know what we are going to do today. What are we going to do today? What is the purpose why we are here? Before that, do you know my name? My name is Dan. It's written there. Now you don't try the first part. It's very difficult. So that's a simple name for you. As VC introduced me, I am the director of Future Option Consulting. Among other things, we do also recruitment. Recruitment is one of our key products. We have recruited people from the starting level of the organization up to the CEO. You know? So, I'm sure we shall be able to find a lot of value in the time that we spend together. You learn from me and I learn from you. Is it not? Learning is a continuous process. Now, I've seen the program, the program for the day. You have 4 items there. The first one is writing CV and a resume. Second one is how to make career choices. Then how to find a job. And the last topic is how to apply for jobs. Right? Now, in the first 1 hour, we are going to tackle the first item. What is? Writing a CV and resume. Now, let's start with the basics. You know what CV is? What does CV stand for? Okay. And what is a resume standing for? What is resume? What is resume? You try, you can just check in, give me some response. It doesn't matter even if you make a mistake. What is a resume? What is a resume? What is a CV? You told me what a CV is. What is a resume now? The point is, see, CV is supposed to be a very detailed resume, or resume is more summarized CV. For our purpose, both are same. Okay, don't worry about the words and whatever. The meaning is same. One is more detailed, other one is briefer. Right? For us, we will call it CV, and that will also mean resume. Right? You don't have to worry about the distinction so much. Now, what is the purpose of a CV? What is the purpose of a CV? You have to tell me. Yes.
A CV is like a document that can speak on your behalf.
Okay.
Yes. That can tell people about who you are without you being present.
Yeah. So, document, CV talks about you, right? For what? What is the purpose of CV? It talks about you. But what is the purpose of it? What is the purpose of a CV? Yes?
It's like an advertisement about
For everybody's benefit.
Thank you. CV is just like an advertisement that has to be put or positive to actually call for recruitment.
What is the name? Okay. Very good answer. Yeah? Now, what does CV do? CV is going to market you. Right? CV is going to market. That is the purpose of CV. So we are going to prepare something which will talk about you and market you. For what? For what? Is there anybody who can help me with a bit of mic? The purpose of the CV now. Now, let's think about it. Before I do that, I just want to understand something. How many of you are undergraduates? Just raise your hand. Undergraduates? Okay. How many of you are diploma holders? Diploma holders? Or in the final year of diploma holders, when I say undergraduate. Or postgraduate diploma or masters? Okay. Now, we know what is the purpose why we are here, right? Now the issue is what we need to do it and how to do it. That's what we are going to look at. CV is a brochure promoting a product. Who is the product? Yourself. As your first contact with the employer, it must create a good impression. Is that fair? So, when you prepare the CV, you need to remember something. What is that? This is the first thing employers see you. See you through, right? CV is used as a screening tool. Do you know what it means? Think of the employment process. We know that we have got diploma holders, undergraduates, some of you may be doing postgraduate, etc. Postgraduate, diploma, masters. Now the issue here is, we know the purpose of the CV and how we need to know actually how it is being used by the employers. How are they used? Employers actually look at the CV and see whether the person can be considered for this position. Now that process of selecting a few CVs from a big bunch of CVs is called screening. You get it? So, what do you do first? What is the first step? What is the first step?
Yes, if you want to contact a job, you must do the research and apply for.
Okay. So when you want to find a job, you actually research, look for jobs. How do you look for jobs? How do you look for jobs? How do you look for jobs?
There are many ways to look for a job.
Yeah.
You can read newspapers, you can go on posters, and also you can check from internet or contact other persons.
Good. Now, one way is look at the newspapers, right? You can see job, 100 jobs there. Can you see that? It is last week's New Vision. Yeah? You find it, similar advertisements in Monitor. You will find it in Uganda Job 9. You may find it in, what Friday? Monday. Friday or Monday. So many others. You also find it on Future Options website at times. Right? Now, let's look at how it works. I have the advertisement here, right? So who is the buyer and who is the seller here? Who is the buyer, who is the seller in this process? This is transaction, right? They are looking for something, right? Who is the buyer and who is the seller? Who is the buyer? Who?
The person looking for a job.
The buyer is
The person looking for employment.
the company, the employer, the one who is advertising, right? And who is the seller? Who is the seller? You are the seller. And what are you selling? Skill. Now, many of you must be doing marketing sales here. When you sell something, how do you go about it? When you have to sell something, yes, you think about quality. What else do you think about? Advertising, marketing yourself. Good. What else do you think of? Price. What else do you think of? What? Place. What else do you think of? Product. What else do you think of? What is the starting point for any sales transaction? See, you are supplying something. What do you need?
The market.
Product. You need demand. Right? So, when you start job, you need to know what is in demand. That's the first step. Am I right? In Uganda, we read a lot about oil sector. Now things have become a bit cool because of oil prices, etc. But it still remains a good sector. Now, when oil sector picks up, you need to look for opportunities in oil sector. The demand is in oil sector. When telecommunication picks up, demand is in telecommunication sector. When banking picks up, demand is in banking. Is it not? FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, agriculture products, a number of other things, right? So you need to first look at the demand. You must have an idea, what are we looking for? How do you know? When you look at the newspapers, you can see more and more advertisements in the newspapers, right? Now, the problem is, in the newspaper, every week, there are not very many jobs. How many jobs did you find on Eurovision in a week? This particular newspaper says 100,
Yeah.
right? 100 new jobs. It says on top here, or 100 jobs. So in a week, let's say 100 each. In a year, there are 42 weeks. So we have got how many? How many jobs approximately?
5,400.
5,000 jobs comes out, right? And how many graduates like you come out in a year? How many?
50,000.
Million. What is the population of Uganda?
37 million.
What is the population of people under 30? Under 30 years of age. Youth, yeah. It's about 70%, right? Now, the issue here is, institution like Cavendish University produces about 40,000 to 45,000 people per year. Right? And the number of job seekers who come to the market in a year, this year, is about 600,000 a year. You understand the situation now? Yes. What does it mean to you as somebody who is looking for a job? What does it mean to you as somebody who is looking for a job? It means you got to be smart. Right? You got to be smart. If you are not smart, you are not going to be picked up from 600,000 people or 50,000 graduates who come to the market every year. The purpose of meeting today is basically to actually equip you for that. You get it? So the issue is, when an advertisement comes like this, you need to know what the employer wants. Right? So what do you do for that? How do you know what employer wants? For example, let's say you found an advertisement. Let us say UTL advertise for sales representatives. They want 150 sales representatives for their new internet product across the country. So what do? You have the advertisement here. So what do you do first?
Look at the description of the jobs. If you meet it, then you will apply. If you are not qualified for that position, you also look for other options.
Very good.
The second is also you need to look for like the required qualification.
Yes. Actually, what you need to do is read the advertisement very carefully. Is it not? Just understand the opportunity. After you read this, you get a little bit more. You know what you do? Most of you have internet connected mobile phones today. That's right? Take your mobile phone, log on to MTN and see what the company is like. What does it do? What is it? No, MTN you know, but some companies you may not know so much about, right? So you understand what they're looking for more than what is in the job description or advertisement. You get it? So you have now understood what is expected by or what is demanded by the employer. Now what you need to do? Prepare yourself. The requirements are mentioned in the job description, right? It will definitely include one CV. So now we are going to talk about CV, right? Now the problem with CV is, let's say 150 jobs are available with MTN, right? There will be here as a soldier. I used to work for Indian Air Force, right? There I learned engineering, so I got a diploma in electrical engineering. Then I did my degree. I got a bachelor's degree. Then I joined the biggest bank in India called State Bank of India, which has got 10,000 branches at a good position as an officer. Then I became a banker. After some time I said banking is not good enough. We need to develop people. So I quit banking and I got into human resources development. And that's how I am here before you. Now, in between I did a number of other things. Okay, just to give you a little bit of an understanding, I did my, I am a qualified accountant to the ACCA, and I did my master's from Edinburgh Business School. I did a short course at Oxford University, and I tried my hand at Makerere University for my PhD, which I did not finish. Yeah, I was a regular student for a taught PhD. Now, what am I saying? When I write my CV, I do not write all the details all the time. You get it? When a hospital asks me, saying that, oh, we would like to consider your firm for recruitment, send me your CV there's no point in sending that I have an electrical engineering diploma or something like that, right? It has to be relevant. When I send my CV for example, Bujali Energy Limited recruitment, when they recruited all the people through us. There I put boldly that I'm a holder of diploma in electrical engineering in addition to all my masters and etc. etc. Because it can sell.
I'm covering.
And I have done a course called, a certificate called CAIIB, Certificated Associate of Indian Institute of Bankers. When I send my CVs to, we work with about 10-12 banks, including Stanbic, Citibank, KCB, CBA, UDB not formal for recruitment, Post Bank, a number of them. Diamond Trust Bank. Now, when I send my CV to the Diamond Trust Bank, for example, or any other bank, I write the CAIIB. I'm a certificated banker, so that they understand, hey, this guy understands banking. There's no point in saying I'm an electrical engineer there. You get it? You may not conceal information, but you will highlight the information relevant appropriately. Right? Now, we were talking about what? We were talking about how long a recruiter takes time to determine this CV is suitable for our MTN sales job. Right? How long it takes? Can I tell you? Global results show that it takes 7 seconds. It takes 7 seconds for a recruiter to determine whether this CV can be considered further or no. 7 seconds. So we are in a 7-second game here. Right? So you need to tell me something, do something today, which is going to be outstanding in the face of competition and can be distinguished in 7 seconds. Right?
It's possible. It's possible.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Very good, yes. It is possible. And we are going to do that. So, you know now when we say used as a screening tool, we just take this from the bunch of so many applications. Either it goes this side or this side. And who determines that? Who determines? HR. Wrong. You determine that? You determine that. Now it is a time for you to decide whether you want to do it or you want the opportunity. Let's go. Right? Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Now we are going to see how we are going to do that. So, used by employers as a screening tool. Now your CV should highlight relevant qualifications and accomplishments. What is accomplishment? Yeah, what you have achieved, what you have done, right? Give an example of an accomplishment at your kind of life experience. Tell me something. You know, this is we are discussing. We are just talking.
What is Johnson? Right.
Yeah.
Johnson. No, not you. Justice. What is your accomplishment as of 2 weeks ago? You had an accomplishment. What was it?
I successfully organized a class admission drive at Carnegie University. And the first time in the history around Kaulabela, Kansanga, and Bunga, we had 69 pounds.
Yeah, that is what I did. Yes. Do you think that is relevant for the employer?
Sorry?
Do you think that is relevant for the employer? The whole issue is that it is relevant. It is very contextual, right? For some positions it is very relevant, some positions it may not be so much relevant. For example, for a public relation position, is it relevant? For a public relation position, for a corporate social responsibility assignment, is it? You know what that is? Yes. Is it relevant? Yes. Have you seen that he has indirectly demonstrated his communication skills? Has he not demonstrated his skills?
Yes, yes.
In terms of supporting the community? Do you see that? So you need to actually find our own value. Right? You know, God sends all of us with a purpose to this earth. Nobody is extra. Right? Nobody is extra here. So since nobody is extra, you have a purpose, and it is for you to find out what that purpose is. Right? Now, it says your CV should be well organized, factual, clear, eye-catching, easy to read, and truthful, which you are. Yeah, we don't want to emphasize on truthfulness. It should be. If it is not truthful, it's not a CV. It's out. Right? So you're fine with this.
Mr. Dan, I have a question. When you say that a CV should be easy to look at or attractive, does that mean I put flowers and pictures in orange font and then in size 72 and then on the other side I put font size 12 in blue? What does that mean?
You heard the question. What is the answer? Thank you. What is the answer?
For CV to be attractive, depend on how you arrange the content of this.
How you?
How you arrange the content of this.
Okay. Any other view? The issue here is the CV should be a professional CV. Right? We are actually talking about professional CVs, right? What does it mean? Do you think it is appropriate to have a flowery CV to be sent for example, to be a banking officer? No. So what are we agreeing here? We are agreeing that the CV should be looking professional, meaning it should not have too many colors, it should look decent. Now, I don't want to go into too much into it, just simply to say, you use, if it is a paper-based CV, now you have a lot of electronic CVs, right? Use good quality paper, cleanly presented, mostly single colored CV, maximum 2 colors, but generally single cover, maximum 2 colors. Some areas may be bolded, but I will tell you, I'll get into all that, right? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Dan. But different organizations also have their own chart, their own CVs to fill. How do you address that?
Thank you for the question. See, when first and foremost, you must know what the format should be. For example, do you have people in marketing here? People who study marketing? Yes or no? Marketing. Can I see some hands? Some hands. Only one hand. No? Nobody has studied marketing here. I want to see the hand. Or stand up. Stand up, let me see you. Who has studied marketing here? Nobody. Okay, let me get my question. Who has not studied marketing? Anyway, the whole point is, if you're sending your CV to a advertising company, okay, for the position of the creative job. What is that called in advertisement? for design jobs. You know, you may actually send a well-designed CV. In fact, those people even send picture CVs. They send PowerPoint CVs. But these are all exceptions. Generally, you send plain white paper, white background CVs. But some people say, when you send your application CV, you will use slightly off-color application to make your application stand out. You understood? Instead of plain white, you will use little bit of green. Yeah, you understood? So that it stands out slightly. But that would not necessarily get you the job. It may help in getting the attention of the shortlisting person. You get it? So, let's go ahead. How long the CV format should be? Now, if I have to shortlist somebody in 7 seconds, how long the CV format should be? How long? Okay, before I go, I want to just cover this point. You need because what the CV tells. CV is a tool which is used as a, which you use for communicating with an employer. So, what does your CV tell your employer? It should tell about the type of opportunity you are seeking, right? So if you are applying for a sales job, the CV should actually show that clearly. It should say who you are. What's the meaning of that? Who you are meaning? Your identity. Of course, you will have your name, address, and your brief profile means your profile. You understood? I told you a lot about me so that you understand my profile. You get it? So that you listen to me better. Am I right? Yes. And you have to make the employer listen to you better. So you have to actually show your profile. And what you know. What you know. Justice. That's like lawyer justice. Yeah, what is that?
No, it's just, the lawyer justice.
Thank you. I don't get embarrassed. Yeah, that's fine. You see, the whole point is, when Justice writes in his CV that he led successfully a corporate social responsibility assignment, you get it? The employer understands, yes, this gentleman, this applicant knows something about corporate social responsibility. You get it? This person has the ability to actually put through an event successfully involving community. He should be able to talk well, right? And many others. What you have done, what you have achieved. CV helps the employer get a sense of your potential as an employee. You know, there is something about jobs. You always get jobs not because necessarily what you have accomplished something. You get jobs because the employer believes that you have the potential. Is it not? It's more of a potential gain than an achievement gain, particularly in the beginning of the career. You get it? It is less on what you accomplish, more on what you can do. Do you get that? Any questions? Can we continue? We have a question, and in most cases we have the answers also. Am I right? So here is the question. What is the answer?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
How many of you say yes? Raise your hand. Only one. Only one is saying yes. Two. politicians, you have to take a stand now. How many of you say no? Okay. The answer, you know, I am also a little bit of a politician. The answer is, it depends. Right? It depends. Actually, my frank answer would be, there is no format. Okay? The format is the format, the right format is the format which will actually help employer select you as the right candidate. Or the right format is the format which will get you an opportunity for interview. Am I right? That's all. So you should communicate well. Fine. When I say no format, of course there are certain basics. You have to have your biodata, that is a name, address, phone number, a few things generally there. So you have to, the answer to your question is, there's a general rule, but subject to change. Get it? We'll see that more.
Thank you, sir.
So there's another question.
Yes.
I have a question. You were saying, like, how long it is how long or how many pages should be written?
Usually we are talking about A4 size pages, right? So you will take that as the A4 size pages. There's really no rule that it should be A4 size, but that's what is commonly used. Right? So let's go by that.
Thank you, President. I would like to have a question in the area which you have. In that context, sometimes your identity in the areas where there is no justice, you feel being neglected in an interview because based on your background. So how will you judge that this context of who you are?
How will you?
I'm saying in an interview, if you are President, definitely I will know where you, how will you look? How will you look in the area of context?
Dodge.
Yes.
Did we agree that we would not dodge anything? Did we agree? Now this, it's not to you ask a question, nothing wrong with the question. Because this is a serious thing that we are. I want to tell you one more thing about this CV. The time you are going to spend now, today, is going to stay with you the rest of your life. I'm going to take a little bit of an example. See, I've been doing it for so many years, but I still make CVs. Do you know that? For what? To get orders, for example, we submit tender to the government. And they will ask, where is your CV? I need to write my CV even at this age. You get it? And it should be good. And the fact of the matter is, everybody in this organization, starting from VC, at every level, they all have CVs. One reason why they are standing before you is because they have got good CVs. Right? So it's very good. I mean, it's a huge investment that you're going to make. It's not something you just do it when you are bored. It is something you do with a purpose in life.
I think one of the questions my brother might be asking is, how do you make your CV so good that people cannot, how do you make your CV so good that people will not discriminate you maybe because of where you come from, or your gender, or your tribe?
You know one thing about this world, we have come to a good place. This world is actually looking for good things. You know something? If I could do a good job at work today, you will remember me. Right? If justice did a good job in the community, people remember. People actually look for something good to happen. The moment they find you're good, they want to embrace you. The world actually gives you everything good that you want.
God is looking for goodness in you. Right? Now, at one level, we have issues of different things, you know, region, tribe, this, that. But that is at a certain level. People actually, you see, for example, for us, one of the cornerstone of everything is diversity. And people who are in responsible positions ensure that diversity is accepted. Right? And for that matter, you know, we did some work for UNDP. You know what UNDP is? What is UNDP? We get, say, 2,000 applications. You know what they tell me? They gave me a map of Uganda. And they said, there are 112, now it may be a little bit more, 112 districts. They told me, from this district we have got 6 people. This district we have got 4 people. This district we have got 3 people. Some districts without people. Our instruction to us was, as long as you find qualified people from those districts, pick them. Do you see that? Diversity, see, we talk about gender balance. If you want a peaceful, sustainable organization, gender balance is not a favor. It is a fundamental. Right? And people in position do believe that. And they do actually, there could be a few exceptions. And when you write CV, we will see, we would not write things which are not necessary. There are irrelevant. Gender is irrelevant. Right? Tribe is irrelevant. What is relevant, we are going to see. Now, actually you are not asking about logic. The fact of the matter is that you are asking me how to present your CV in a positive manner. Right? Everything has got 2 sides, right? So we are going to see how to actually look at and present. For example, as a graduate coming out of RNH University, how do you organize yourself and compete with other graduates who are applying for the same position? That's what you ask. So we will look at that. Right? Yeah. We said CV should be 1 to 2 pages length. Particularly, I can strongly advise you, people in your life stage who are graduates coming out of, maximum 2 pages are enough. Don't write more. Okay? It can be longer if you are going for a post fellowship or a postdoctoral job. You may write even 6 pages or 10 pages. Or a fresher, 2 pages are enough. Right? Use easy to read fonts and bolding for emphasis. You know what that means? What is easy to read fonts? What is easy to read fonts? What is easy to read fonts? And don't use very flowery ones. Use a smooth one, the way I use that. That is good. Don't use flowery ones. Use bullet statement or short paragraph. Don't write pages of essays. Use bullets. Okay? Use bullets. Begin with most important material first. What is most important here in this context? I want somebody to tell me from this side now. What is most important when you apply for a job? What is most important when you apply for a job? In your CV, what is the most important part?
Maybe I can say it's the biography and the education status plus the background, what experience.
Thank you. Any other?
Maybe.
You get it? It could be the skill, most likely, what we call the skills and competencies. The essence of the matter is you need to know what the employer is looking for. That is the most important thing. Right? You have anything? I saw a hand here. Suppose that they Of course, graduate is a degree, is a must. But when you have a 10,000 application for graduate degree, that is not enough. You understood? You have to have a little bit more.
The most important thing is qualifications. You can have a degree in excellence, but to present your degree is very hard. The qualification is more important in your career.
Thank you for that. But I would say the most important thing in the CV is the information that will appeal to the employer. Whatever it could be. It could be qualification, it could be experience, it could be a hobby, it could be an area you have traveled so many times. If you say, I traveled in East Africa, Tanzania, and there's a job in Tanzania, they will give it to you. Is it not? And if you say, I know Swahili, if it requires a job, and if Swahili has the job, they will give you. Is it not? So it depends upon what the employer is. You need to actually read the requirements carefully, right? And understand the organization. Yeah.
Yes, the first layout is that a CV is supposed to be written on 1 to 2 pages. But at the other time, you said that on the CV we're supposed to put who you are, your brief profile, what you know, what you have done, all your certificates, diplomas, what the experience in different fields of work, and then take only 2 pages.
See, the answer to your question is quite simple. It is possible, we'll see. We'll just see. Yeah, we have examples here. You see, for example, how much you take to write about that one. You have personal contact information. You have career objective. You have an overview of yourself, who you are. Education. Relevant education would mean university education, other courses you have completed, training, etc. Relevant paid or unpaid work, if you have done that. Community service, Mr. Justice. Interest, hobbies, references. Now your question is whether all this can come in one page. It can. Yeah, in fact I will show you one CV in one page. I'll show you an example. Yeah, I'm going to show you one single page CV, and then you will see that it's 2 pages, a lot of information. Okay, I'm going to show you that.
It's about a CV. I'm looking for the internship.
You don't call me
Yeah.
Sir or Mr. Dan, you call me just Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's I should send also the CV. There's a difference between the CV for internship, also for the what you're looking for a job.
Of course, there's a difference. See, when you are applying for an internship, now do we have to limit this session on internship? No. Yeah. So they see, let's keep it broader, both for internship and for jobs. Okay? Let's look at the principle. Is it not? We have got one advantage. The advantage is you are among the cream of this society. You understand a lot of things, right? If I tell you one thing, you can actually pick from there. Is it not? So let's keep it at that level, yeah? So the issue here is, if you're an internship, internship is actually a transition stage to a job, right? If you get a job, you'll be happier. Is it not? Generally, yes. If you don't get a job, you try for a internship also, so that you actually expand your opportunities for getting a job, a good job, right? So, in an internship, you actually will be talking about your knowledge and interest. In a job application, in addition to your knowledge and abilities, you also will show your work experience. That's the main difference. Is that okay with you? something is error.
Yes. In fact, I do not want to see that person. Who said that, by the way? Anyway.
Is there anybody who said, anybody who would like to see errors? No. And if you have errors in your CV, you reduce your chances. And shall I tell you one universal truth here now? Most CVs have errors. Most CVs have errors. Most CVs have errors. I can tell you, somebody who has been struggling with CVs for last 10 years, most CVs have errors. And most people eliminate themselves by making errors in the CV. You don't have to apply, you don't have to complain. You are actually ensuring that you are out by not checking your CV. If you cannot check your CV, my question is, can you come to my office and do some good work if you cannot check your own CV? You get it? And as a recruiter, whether we say consultant or internal recruitment, a lot of people do internal recruitment. Some people come to us, but most people do internally the recruitment, right? Whoever checks it, they have, even when I recommend, I have a responsibility. I'm paid for it. I cannot go with the CV for a position say that, oh, sorry, there are 3 mistakes in that. I would not even take the CV. Get it? You may be a profile useful, but CV has actually eliminated your chances, good chances. You get it?
Mr. Dan, let me add a little with corrections. Some of you here, okay, you won't put up your hand. But if you send me an email that is incorrect, it has no punctuation, no poor spelling, I actually copy it into Word, correct it for you, and send it back and tell you to resend it. Why? Because part of my job is to train you to learn how to do error-free communication. If you're going to send a CV, and the first thing is you have misspelled March, the date, or you have not put it in correct capital letters, you have misspelled a significant thing, like my education experience, you have misspelled education. Why would I give you a job? This is exactly what Mr. Dan is saying. But also, remember, most of the time, you email your CV to somebody, isn't it? If your email also has spelling mistakes, you wouldn't even get to 7 seconds. You're dropped at second, isn't it?
True. So, thank you for that. Now, for grammar, punctuation, spelling, be consistent in formatting. What is the meaning of that? Be consistent in formatting. What is formatting? What's a format? Style. So be consistent in styling, right? Actually, if I find more stylish person here, they will tell you what style is. Right? Matching dress. Right? That is style. You cannot have margin somewhere 1 inch. Next paragraph, you have got half an inch margin. Right? Numbers and dates. Numbers, sometimes you put with comma, sometimes you put without comma. You know, you will say UGX, Uganda shilling, 1 million. 1 comma 000 and comma again 000. Otherwise, you can write down for 1 million without commas. But if you are following one, follow correct one. Dates you can write in different styles. Sometimes you put dates, employment history. From 1st January 2012 to 31st December 2014, I write 1st January 2012, then I put 31-12 2015. You get it?
I hope you are able to see. I will read for you. This is one line as continuous. Can you see that? What I have written is from 01 January 2012 to 31/12/2014. So my request is you put December there, not 12. You understood what I mean?
Yeah. Otherwise it confuses people unnecessarily. Uniform margins we talked about. Aligned text and dates, you know, it's all over. Some lines are protruding, some lines are somewhere else. We looked at this. When you write, you know, this is a guidance, as I said, yeah? You have your personal contact information. For example, you put your full name, you put your address, you put your email ID, you put your phone number, career objective. Now, people normally it is said career objective should be there. And I might say yes, it is required, but we usually don't look for it so much as, you know, that's a practical thing. But it is, people say it is required, so let's be on the safe side. Overview, it's not again a fundamental thing, but it's encouraged. So that people who do not read the full CV can immediately get an idea. If I tell you, for example, overview of myself, yeah, a well-qualified and experienced management consultant with 25 years of international experience in banking. You know, you understand how it works. Within 2 lines, you understand who you are. Or the other person understands who the applicant is. So just 2-3 points there will actually cover the entire CV. You get that? I'm going to show you how it works. Education, that is including university or any other formal qualification, other courses done, special training, relevant paid or unpaid work experience, community service, interest, hobbies. Hobbies, I don't want you to write too much unless that hobby is of interest to the employer. You get it? And references. Sometimes you can say references will be provided but on request, but in the beginning at a internship level or starting job level, you can always put the references there. Now, you must know, before you go going to do, how you are going to do it, you must know what the problems are. You get screened out because you are unclear, your at times the clear objective is not clear. That is very important for internship kind of jobs. Generic and unfocused. You talk about a lot of things. I talk about engineering, I talk about banking, I talk about military, I talk about so many things. People can get confused, right? Lacks relevant experience education. Hard to understand. The language you write, you only can understand. Others can't understand. Irrelevant information, which is a big problem with most CVs. Time gaps. You write 2012 to 2014. Instead of starting from 2015, you go to 2017. People wonder why what this person did in those 2 years. One joke is, people start thinking whether the person was in the jail or not. Was in the prison or not. You get it? Because people do not disclose. Forceful and dishonest. We keep eliminating CVs which are not credible. And CVs which do not show self-awareness. You know what self-awareness is? Self-awareness is the feeling that we all need to coexist. You know, when I talk to you, I need to know how you feel about it. I must be aware of how others are feeling about you. You get it? If you do not have self-awareness, people don't like your CV. Right? Poor layout, too long or too short, wordy misspellings, poor grammar, lengthy phrases, sentences, lengthy phrases, sentences and paragraphs, poorly reproduced. What is the meaning of poorly reproduced? What is the meaning of poor reproduce? Yeah, printed badly, on bad paper. You understood? Print is not clear. One side is very dark, other side is it's not clear. You understood? When you go to NASA road, it often happens. Doesn't it? It does happen. But it's in your interest that you actually get a good CV reproduced, so that you get a job.
Sometimes they ask that you later must be manuscripts. And then also the CVs, they say the way you say it here, you must respect the font, you must respect the size, and the audio recommendation. What about the book?
Most, the times when, who asked for manuscript in handwritten? Now, those handwritten CVs or applications were not so much CV. Okay. It started when computers did not exist. Okay? And it continued when computers were not accessible. Right? Then, now it still continues in very few pockets where rules are not changed, like government. You get it? You don't see it anywhere else these days. Rarely. Government at times I've seen once in a while, because government sometimes take too long to change the rules. You get it? Otherwise, it is not so much of it common. Now people produce CVs, and at least the kind of people who are sitting here are expected to produce CVs on your laptop or computer. Right? They are not expected to analyze them. Now, if somebody says, of course, government job says, yeah, you write your application in manuscript, fine. But that is very rare and exceptional these days. Okay? So, now you must avoid too many fonts. In fact, that's what we mentioned. Fancy font, wordiness, long paragraph. Too much personal data, talking about my family, it is not relevant for the employer, right? But employer is not interested whether you are married or not married, right? I get funny CVs actually. Sometimes we laugh. We laugh so much, sometimes I can't even, given our kind of a environment, I can't even reproduce and tell you that now, because it's so funny. But we talk about race, tribe, sex, marital status, a number of things which are irrelevant. I'm going to show you how it is. Abbreviation, you got to be very careful unless it is very commonly used by the employer. Understood? You can use it as long as the employer understands. But don't start importing your own abbreviation. You understood? You may use it rarely. But as long as the employee understands, it's a standard, you can use it. You get it? For example, when you say ISO 9000, ISO 9000 is a standard abbreviation. You can use that, yeah. Or when you say CPA, working form. You get it? Full justification for the full justification option for that is trying to align things too much. Too many uppercase letters. You know what uppercase letters are? Uppercase letters are what you see there. Capital letters. Capital letters don't allow reading. It makes difficult to read. Hard for the people to read. Underlining. Don't go on underlining. You can underline if at all you need a few points to be highlighted, but don't do it too much. Italics. Even italics are fine as long as you use it. All these things are fine as you use it judiciously, sparingly. You understood? Now, any questions? You okay with what we discussed?
My question is, one of today, in any advertisement, the person experience is working at Sphere. In case I finish, or I have been graduated yesterday from academic, I don't have any working experience, and I come across the job which need, with a qualification which need a bachelor diploma, 3 to 5 years experience. So which advice can you give me in case I don't have any working experience?
Thank you. This is the question I keep getting. This is the newspaper, New Vision of last Monday. It says there are 100 jobs, right? Now when you start seeing the jobs, for example, Friends of Christ Revival Ministries, it says minimum bachelor's degree, etc., postgraduate training in child protection, demonstrated 1 year's experience in implementing child protection. So you need experience, right? You have a problem. What's the next one? Brick by brick job advertisement. Requirement, bachelor's degree, at least 5 years experience. And the fact of the matter is, most of the jobs require experience, as you rightly said. Now there's a problem, right? Now I'll give you another example. What is the unemployment rate in Uganda? Do you have an idea? At least the official one. The official unemployment rate in Uganda is 9.4%. 9.4. Yeah? Now, that means 1 out of 10 people like you will find it hard to find jobs. But when you look at this newspaper, that 9 out of 10 jobs are for only experienced people. Right? Now the question is, where do you get the jobs? That is something you have to know regarding your job search. Your jobs may not come into New Vision. That's as simple as that. It may not come to New Vision as that. If you look at New Vision for jobs, you may find it hard. Now that session will be covered in the next part of our program, right? Now you need to know how to look for jobs. The fact of the matter is, they ask for 5 years experience for most of the jobs. But everybody who the applicants for those jobs also, who have got the 5 years experience, started like you, without experience. Am I right? All of them have started without experience. That means jobs do exist. It's difficult, but jobs do exist. You understood? There has to be some beginning somewhere. Now, a lot of jobs do not come to main media. That's where you have to really start searching for job opportunities.
From what that gentleman asked, so if this job that mentioned in the newspaper, 90% of the jobs requires experience, and for a fresh graduate, for example from Academic University in Uganda, do you mean that you should not even apply if you don't have the experience?
The chances of you getting a job, if you don't have experience and qualification, in your case, more importantly, experience is less. You don't get it. You need experience. You need to look for places where you can find experience. That's where the internship came in. You need to look at the website of different organizations. You know, you need to actually network. You need to ensure that your CV reaches even unsolicited applications. You get it? Your application should be there in most of those corporations who are good employers. You get it? Now, there is no easy solution to this. But given the limited opportunities, it is left for you to try at or with the available opportunities.
Yeah, I want to know if a job requirement has like I mean, even a job can have like 5 requirements, but for you meet yourself that you have like 4 of those 5 requirements, but you miss only 1. So will you apply for the job or not apply?
See, for jobs there are 2 types of requirements. One is essential, other one is desired. Okay? Desired ones are, you need to be a graduate, a postgraduate is desirable. You understood? You should be a graduate, but your degree in statistics is desirable. There goes this work. But if it is essential requirement, usually it doesn't work. Except some people would consider the application, but that's very illegal. Yeah? So if it is essential requirement, you should fulfill that. If it is not an essential mandatory compulsory requirement, you may try your luck without that. Now, what I want to do, we have another 10 minutes, so we should actually move fast. Another 10 minutes only left.
I have a question in personal culture. So, why is this a personal culture doing that? Because when you see community that you will not include all the information you want to present in the vision, or what do you mean about that?
Thank you. William, and I go. That will be the last question on this part. I want to just show you some sample series. Yeah, this is the last question.
Mine is, I want to know the difference between, there's something called P11 in an organization. P11, I don't know whether you know this one. In an organization, then you go there, you get P11, then you feel it like this one. So may I know what the difference between P11 and CD?
The first question, I've not heard of P11, but it should be some kind of, it's like an awesome and find out. Get a new term.
I know P11. Usually an organization, some of the international organizations will require you to have registered with the organization so that you can apply for the job. So when you go to the organization, you log in. United Nations is one, World Bank is one, African Development Bank, the big organizations. And what you do is you will register your CV. You fill in the blank, it's like a form. You fill in your name, all the data. They will ask you for all the data. And what I usually recommend is that you have your CV open in Word. Then you copy, every time you find, please put your address. You can copy your address and put it in. Because if you have it in Word and you have already spell checked and checked the grammar, then you know it's actually error-free, right? So you copy it and you put it in. And when you're done and you hit submit, it logs onto its database for that organization. And usually they will give a form or a number for it, like P11, some of organizations say personal data file. And if you ever go back to apply for another position, they will first ask you, do you have a P11? If you don't, then you go back and you refill. If you have a P11, they'll ask you, do you want to update it? So for instance, I used to apply for jobs with World Bank. And since I was in my master's program, so I have something on my file. If I pull my name in, it should pull up my CV, my oldest CV there. So if I want to reapply for a position now, then what I will do is to pull up and update my CV. Most of those organizations, you cannot just take a CV. You have to apply through their system. And that's what a P1 would, or a P11 would result in. That's what it means. So if you're looking to apply for a job or an internship, and these big organizations also have opportunity for internships, then you need to apply as soon as possible. And then you will could just keep updating your application. And that's what is called an unsolicited application, but you keep checking to see if they have an opportunity that now you can push your CV or your previous application towards.
The next question about the person, thank you for that. The next question about personal data. See, when we say personal data, we have got name, telephone number, address, email, etc. Then if I start talking about my mother is this, my father is this, my sister is an MP, and this, those things are not necessary. I quickly look through the samples. Yeah. Now, this is a CV actually got from my own database, right? I just take the name, all those personal details, so that if there is a person, data protection is everybody's responsibility, right?
Okay.
See, we have a technical issue here. We can't display the TV because the system is not allowing. So, do we have any questions?
I think what I would suggest is I know a lot of people in the back were struggling to see. With your permission, if you can send us a presentation, we can load it up for you to follow along. And then what we can do is if you can send us a couple of sample CVs, we'll just add it to the website so that you can have access to it as well.
So, that will be the last question. Yeah.
Good morning, all. I just want to ask about the difference between CV and resume. Because in my previous studies I was told that CV is meant for people who are at a high level, while the resume is for people who are at low level.
Thank you for that. As we spoke in the beginning, CV is a more detailed document which covers these aspects which we just explained. Resume is more summarized. But for our purpose, for undergraduate purpose and graduates, freshers, etc., who are early in the career, you keep it as both are similar. Your CV or resume need not be more than 2 pages, really speaking. Yeah? So for our purpose, we treat them as one for this purpose. But resume is the shorter version, CV is more detailed version, giving all kinds of more details. Get it? So
we are through. There's one more hand. That is the very, very last step.
Last question now. We have another session coming up, so we want to give him permission also to leave. He has taken a lot of time out of his busy day to come and spend a little time with us. So last question.
Okay, thank you. My issue is, the question was raised that is there a format, a general accepted format for writing CV? And my answer was yes. There is a structure that generally there is a format to be followed. You cannot write the reference before you put your personal details. So there is a structure of putting it. You have to begin with your details about yourself, the education background, and then the other issues goes until reference usually becomes the last. So I was telling you, there is a structure which is accepted.
I can see where our next facilitator will come from. Please, I would like you to join me in thanking Mr. Dan for spending his time. As you can see, he's a very busy man. He runs one of the top recruiting agencies. Now you know what a recruiting agency is. These are the kind of people you should be sending your unsolicited CVs to. But remember, you have 7 seconds. 7 seconds to make sure your CV goes on this side instead of? So if there's one thing I think we have learned, is that you have the 7 seconds. All the other things he's talked about is how to make sure that your 7 seconds count. Are we together? So, when we started on Wednesday, we had a small premiere to this workshop with a gentleman called Mike Buchan from Portsmouth, UK. Some of you who didn't attend that, you really missed. He was very good on Wednesday. So we learned how to do the factorial. Where is my basita? You remember, he says he has taught you this in statistics. Yes. So let's give our good Mr. Dan, our good presenter, a 7-second factorial. 7 seconds? Now, those of you who don't know how it is, we will do it once so that you can learn. Then we will do a final time to say thank you. All right? Are you ready?
Because it's a very important session, so we now coming. This is a typical CV. Can you see the CV there? Which it has got name, date of birth, sex, marital status, place of birth, nationality, tribe, email, telephone, everything. Right? Go down. Just go down. Then it has got education, right? Further down, you can see there is a education, bachelor's, A-level, O-level, then Chartered Institute of Marketing or something there. There is a career objective written there. Yeah. Then work experience, right? That's the next page now. Continue.
And then we do the final round. Sawa? Ready? 7 factorial.
Wow.
Well, let's go! Responsibility is to teach you, isn't it? We have agreed. He will not give you his email address, and he will not give you his phone number. But you know the name of his company, which is called Future Options. Your responsibility will be to find the email from the website, find his website, find his email, and send him a well-written thank you note. That is how you make yourself unforgettable.